I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb, Deep Space, the Moon, Dark Matter, the Void, the Black Hole, Hathor, Isis, Diana, Mami, Ishtar, Kali, Mammy, and Mother.
Great Mother speaks to us in raw, realistic, and righteousness. Great Mother speaks to those of us who are most alienated from her unconditional love due to our birth mother experience. Here, welcome to Great Mother Speaks to us in raw, realistic, and righteous.
My overall sense for the full moon and the eclipse is the lyrics to that Carly Simon song, You Belong to Me, that say, you don't have to prove to me you're beautiful. I have loving eyes of my own. Of my own. You belong to me. And that's what Great Mother is saying to us, is that we don't have to prove that we are dearly loved. Those of you who are subscribers, you know that Great Mother speaks to us and operates from the divinity principles that we are dearly loved children of the Great Mother, Father God, who are never judged, condemned, or left alone. And we're not getting that. We're not getting that. And so these intense times will feel like a reprimand for those of us who just refuse to believe it based on our perspective of life. Pretty much we experience life based on our perspective of it. And if you have Mama Drama Trauma, which is what this channel is for those of you who are just tuning in, my name is Tammy Taylor. I'm an inner work life coach. This is a lunar astrologically based channel to give readings to people who are healing from a condition in which the mother projects unhealed aspects of herself onto the child, causing emotional and or physical trauma. In cases where the mother is unwilling, unable, or unavailable to heal her own MDT, because it is a cycle, loving detachment is required in order for us to live a healthy, happy, and whole life. That is the inner work life coaching that I do. And I've been a little ghost lately because I've been doing a lot of that work. And of course I have to take care of myself, practice what I preach, which is self-mothering, self-care, which is necessary in order for us to live in loving detachment, which is accepting what is. Letting go of the mother that we want, the fantasy mother that we want her to be, the nurturing or that we wanted her to be. Sometimes she's unavailable because she's transitioned. Letting that go is a grieving process, and that grieving process is enabled through loving detachment. Loving detachment is a incremental letting go of that fantasy mother. It's an incremental letting go of the perception that she should be something other than she is, that we should receive something other than what we receive from her. And to accept the mother that we have, which is the mother of all mothers, Great Mother, who we connect with through the Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck, which was channeled through me through my work as an inner work life coach. My prayer when I started this work after healing my own MDT this lifetime, I've had many lifetimes of mama drama trauma with my mama, and this is the lifetime that I healed it. And so this is not for the light of heart, okay? There's a reason there are 4 people watching this video, okay? This is for people who are ready to resurrect within this lifetime, to be reborn. We're born first through our birth mother, and through healing mama drama trauma, we are reborn to live the life our soul came here to live, to evolve and be. The evolutionary lesson of the soul contract of MDT, the MDT soul contract between ourselves and our mother, our father as well, is part of this soul group for this contract, is to support the mutual evolution in self-love and spiritual independence. Okay, it is through the neglect and rejection of our mother that souls learn or are coerced into loving themselves, because that is the only way we will experience love this lifetime, is by loving ourselves, because until we do that, we cannot experience love. Okay, we can't experience. We may have love available to us. People may be loving on us, grandmas, other mothers, aunties, teachers, neighbors, nieces, children may be loving on us, husbands, wives, loving on us. But we won't experience it as love, which is what is happening now. The planets are aligning in such a way, and we talk about planets. Those of you who have not gotten the memo yet, we are made of stardust. Okay, and so we're made of the same things as the planets, and so of course they affect us because that's what we're made up of. Just as it's the molecular, actually the anatomical substance that we're made of. The same thing that Saturn and Pluto, the same stuff. The hydrogen, the nitrogen combo is the same within us, and so it's a unique mix of those elements, which is what I call our unique cosmic calculus, which is where the readings come from, is this unique cosmic calculus based on Vedic or Jyotish, the science of light, the science of that light coming through us to manifest in physical form, that light of the sun, great father energy, which in Vedic astrology is our soul. So with no further ado, that's the general message for this full moon in Scorpio in the Vedic. It's in Sagittarius in the Western. The eclipse is in Cancer in the Western, and it is in Gemini in the Vedic, coming up July 2nd. It is a solar eclipse, which means Great Mother Moon is eclipsing the sun, is covering the sun. And so she's covering the sun with this wisdom that has come to me for all of us to understand that we don't have to prove that we're beautiful. When we are devoid of love or feeling loved, we always feel that we have to prove that we're lovable. I need more likes. I need more followers. I need more co-signers that I'm valid, to affirm that I am. If we are, the more we engender that kind of mentality into our system, into our energetic system, our divine system, the more we experience that, and the less we experience love, because we are trying to control what love is. This is the first deck, the old deck, by the way. Still getting the new one printed. I don't know, I might juxtapose some of the new cards into this deck. I'm so proud of that deck that's going to be coming out. This eclipse season is about Great Mother eclipsing the energy that says we have to go according to these regimented, externalized definitions of what is lovable, what is worthy, what is worthy to be loved. We don't have to prove that. We don't have to align with something, especially with what our mothers may be saying that we have to be in order to be loved. When we have mama drama trauma, that's what we do. We always are trying to do that. So, all right. You don't have to prove to me you're beautiful. I have loving eyes of my own. She has loving eye that is within us. And so that is our moon sign, how we feel, how we react to things, what we believe, and our memories, our imaginative space, which is where we get our intuitive downloads. It's very difficult for people who are extremely traumatized to distinguish between the neurotic voice of the abandonment and abuse in this imaginative space and the loving voice of Great Mother. And so let me clarify that for you so that you know, as she speaks to you through these readings, I don't know what she's going to say beyond you don't have to prove that you're beautiful, that she sees your beauty, which means that your soul within you knows that you're beautiful already. And if it doesn't, and you're not experiencing, feeling divine love, these experiences that are coming to you that seem to contrast that divinity are just coming as opportunities for you to shift your perspective. What in this experience, what in this relationship in which I'm being abandoned and I'm being abused is showing me that I need to shift my perspective of what a loving relationship should be. What is it teaching me? Is it teaching me that I need to focus on being with someone who is more encouraging because I'm experiencing discouragement? I'm experiencing judgment and condemnation. And so is this showing me that I need to shift? You know, if I'm in a work situation where my ideas, my creativity is not being taken into account, is it because I need to articulate them better? Maybe I need to take someone aside that is influential in this situation and kind of quiz them and ask them, what is it that I can do to be of more contribution based on my gifts, my talents, and my abilities? Sometimes we think that, you know, we have something going on, we got it going on, and we do in many regards oftentimes, but people aren't interpreting it that way just because it needs to be shifted in how it's being delivered, or the space in which we are delivering it needs to be shifted. We're dearly loved. We're never judged, condemned, or left alone. Never. And so it's always a matter of being open to shifting our perspective, shifting our emotions. You know, it's a real popular phrase now, a mood. It's a whole mood. Yeah, I mean, that's nothing new. I mean, whenever the moon moves, Great Mother energy moves, it's a mood. And so this mood is Scorpio. And so what is Scorpio? Scorpio is all about rebirth and regeneration. Rebirth and regeneration for you and your Vedic moon sign. Look at the calculator below. It's going to be where Great Mother is speaking most deeply to you in your soul space about how she is expressing love to you now, how the energies are supporting you now. Neptune is going retrograde this full moon, along with what is already retrograde, Saturn and Jupiter. And so we have all of our outer planets retrograde, which means that the creative, sustaining, and destructive forces are at play. And they're at play on a planetary level, which we already know, but the actual confirmation of that through these retrogrades of the outer planets is showing us that Saturn is on the border there, and Uranus is not retrograde, but it's Pluto. Well, let me see. Pluto and Saturn are conjunct in the South Node, okay? And Saturn and Jupiter are retrograde right now, okay? And so Jupiter is basically kind of amplifying this retrograde. That's what I'm feeling. It's amplifying the retrograde of Neptune and Saturn, okay? That's what I'm trying to say, because Uranus and Pluto are not retrograde. So this amplification of this intensity of being clear about what it is you want to sustain moving forward. What from everything that you have experienced, what from everything you have known love to be and that you have learned you need to feel in order to feel divinely loved. In order for you to feel that you are a dearly loved child of the Great Mother, Father, God, what frame of mind do you need to be in? Based on what you've learned about that, that is what this full moon and this eclipse is going to support you in shifting into. And so it's important that you are aware that that is what's happening. That's what's happening right now, is that you wake up to what you have learned, especially over the last 2 years since the major solar eclipse, August 2017, the world stopped to watch. That was in Washington State, in Leo, in both the Vedic and the Western. Very powerful me energy. You've had the opportunity with that eclipse to learn that what is it that I need to feel loved? Leo is ruled by the sun. Okay, the soul in Vedic, it was in Leo in the Western and the Vedic. So you should know by now what it is that you need to feel love. And we do know there's been a lot of tumult in families across the planet since then, and groups and political organizations and everything. And so we want to be sure that we take that awareness into account, what we've learned, and realize that the intensification of energy now is supporting us in shifting our perspective to align with what we've learned so that we can experience that love that Great Mother already has for us, and to feel that we are dearly loved and those loving eyes on us. So hope you enjoy your reading. Thanks so much for supporting, and remember to sign up for your moon sign reading for your personal eclipse message from Great Mother. You don't have to prove to me you're beautiful to strangers. I've got loving eyes of my own, of my own. You belong to me. So she's like, you my baby. You my baby. We're going to get clarification this time from the Archangel Power deck. Now, I know Doreen Virtue has, speaking of rejection, has rejected her work as a pioneer in these decks and oracles and everything with the angels and whatnot. But we're going to use it because this is anointed work, and everybody has their own spiritual journey, their own spiritual path, and so we wish blessings upon Doreen Virtue. She's given so much to us through her virtuous journey to her soul and what she needs to do for her unique cosmic calculus. Okay, all of us have our unique journey. Now, for you, that just came out, so I'm gonna put this aside for you, Scorpio. This is in your first house, and this first house energy is really speaking to your moon yoga of Sagittarius as well as Libra. And for those of you who don't know about the moon yogas in Vedic astrology, it's basically the three signs, the sign that precedes your moon sign, Libra, your moon sign, Scorpio, and the sign after it. How you download your emotions, how you receive information, ideas, what you believe, what you resonate with, how you filter that is through Libra. How you process, what you do with that information is your moon sign. How you feel about it, rather. Doing is yang energy, Gatefather energy. And how you process it is Sagittarius. So for you, this is Dagda energy. This is double yin energy. What she's saying is that your soul is being supported right now through these very deep intuitive downloads that you're receiving from Libra. So you're downloading right now is supported by a perspective that you filter through a sense of really getting in touch with what you believe about the situation at hand. If you're dealing with your children, what is it that you really believe needs to be done with regard to your child, to your children? If it's about your job, if it's about your money, whatever, your health, what is it that you really believe needs to be done about it? You know, how is your diet in relationship to your child? Perhaps the challenges that you might be having may have to do with modeling or demonstrating a good diet to your child. Maybe the child is out of balance because the diet isn't where it needs to be. Maybe the work situation is out of balance because what you are sharing, what you're articulating, what you're speaking is not really clear. And so what you are downloading about what you believe needs to happen right now is what needs to happen right now. And what you are feeling about this is self-doubt. You're not sure that what you believe is true or not, or that you can trust it. And what Great Mother is saying is that you can trust it with this Rhiannon card. Make a decision this full moon to trust how you are feeling about what needs to happen in this situation, about what you have learned over these last 2 years that is important for you to feel loved in this situation. If the behavior is out of tune because of diet, if your experience at work is out of tune, or with your finances because of not clearly articulating how you feel, then that needs to be brought into alignment. There needs to be clarity in your communication. There needs to be attention paid to your diet. And there also needs to be attention paid to the resources that you have, the money that you have, and how you're spending it now. Sometimes we want more money, and we really don't need more money. The opportunity and the challenges, the financial challenges that we have, is to better work with the resources that we have. And many times our challenge is to do that with gratitude. Recognize that we do have everything that we need, and to just kind of pare things down, because when we do that, we find out really what matters to us. And so again, it's not a matter of not being dearly loved and not being taken care of, but it's always an operation of our free will. And our free will with regard to second house energy is about being clear about what we believe. And if we're not clear about what we believe, our feelings are really nebulous right now, are really clouded right now. And in order for you to get the clarity that you need, you have to go into that Sagittarius and process how you're spending your money, how you're allocating your resources, and really process the priorities, okay, at this time, so that we're not overlooking the fact that we get to choose who we are with the Pele card. We get to choose our experience. This is all about this gut chakra energy that is crescent moon energy. It's telling us that we may not be aware that the seeds that we're planting are from a perspective that may not be serving us. Okay, and so if we keep planting seeds that aren't serving us, then we keep getting what we don't want. And so what Great Mother's coming through and she's saying is that the energy is this full moon in Scorpio and moving into the eclipse. It's all about you paying attention to really how you feel and whether or not those emotions are in alignment, those thoughts that create that give you a perspective about how you feel are aligned with what you've learned you need to feel loved. In other words, for example, if you've learned over the last 2 years that really what I need is to take this TV out of this room. It's right next to my bedroom and it's too loud when I go to sleep, and I'm discombobulated for a good hour until I can get into a deep sleep. And it's been like this little buzz underneath the surface for the last couple of years. I've been noticing that this is really irritating me, and we haven't done anything about it, and not realizing that it's affecting our whole attitude when we get up in the morning. That might be the thing that's kicking off our day wrong with our kid. And that how we set up the day with our child really does influence how their day goes, depending on, again, their cosmic calculus. They have their own personality too, but we are their greatest influencers. And so just paying attention to those things and going ahead and moving that TV into another room, or having that conversation, articulating with clarity, this is what I need in order to pull that forward. Because what you want is to be open to releasing those things that no longer serve where you are now. You're in a different place, you're in a different space than where you were before, and you really know that some things need to be rearranged. The furniture needs to be rearranged. Some of you need to completely move out of situations in which there is no support for what you need, and you realizing that, and that needs to be in alignment with how you are responding to it, and so you feel that you are dearly loved and you're trusting that. Now, what's supporting you in doing that is Isis, self-mothering. And so again, taking care of yourself, regrounding yourself with this full moon root chakra energy. The full moon is all about the purification and the full illumination of what you have garnered from a cycle. And the lunar cycle, of course, is the symbol that we're using for this eclipse season coming to its climax. Now, of course, that was when the nodes were in Leo, Aquarius, and now they're in Cancer, Capricorn in the Western. They're in Gemini, Sagittarius in the Vedic. They were in Cancer, Capricorn in the Vedic when that last eclipse happened, but it did happen in Leo. That showed that is why we know it was a powerful indicator. And so you're being supported by Saturn at this time, which rules the root chakra and is in retrograde. That Saturn retrograde is a holding pattern, again amplified by Jupiter retrograde energy. It's amplifying a sense of waiting out to be clear in moving forward once the planets go direct. So this is going to take some time, but this reading is telling you what this eclipse is about. Your present state of ego soul alignment is Sheila Nagig energy, which is telling you that in order for you to truly feel dearly loved, and especially not judged, condemned, or left alone, there needs to be a willingness to trust that you are dearly loved. And you do. You do have what it takes to move forward. Just like with healing mama drama trauma, we have to be willing, able, and ready. We have to be available to heal from it. We have to be at that point of acknowledgement. I have MDT, now what? Well, we have to be willing, ready, and able to grieve MDT in order to embrace divinity. And that's a process. It's a process of loving detachment. And I'm sorry, this is your Sheila Nagig card. I don't have my contacts on. This is your Sheila Nagig card, which is about what you want. You want to be open to the process. You want to... This is waning gibbous moon energy, which is about you're wanting to be grateful. You're wanting to move forward. And that whole thing that's necessary in order for you to move forward as far as taking care of yourself is saying that the present state of the ego soul alignment is Adi Shakti energy, is that yes, you do have what it takes to move forward with that desire to be open. And so you need to realize that with this Adi Shakti energy, the second chakra energy, that you do desire to move forward. It's just that you are in this holding pattern. Okay, you realize that you can't move forward with these things, like say moving the TV right now. It may be some obstacles to you actually being able to change your diet right now the way that you need to, or to clearly articulate. The words aren't coming to you. The clarity hasn't come to you yet. But Great Mother is saying that you are downloading information. You are getting it. And so your present state of ego soul alignment, ego being your emotional state, and the soul, your intuitive knowing, you are actively already engaging that process with Adi Shakti energy. You are already realizing that, okay, I need to hear from Great Mother. I need to hear from the Holy Spirit. And why your soul wants to do it is because you're really feeling victimized by this whole situation. You're really feeling like you're not being able to move forward because of some outside influence, because of you feel neglected, you feel judged in some ways, you feel condemned, ostracized, alienated in some way, done wrong, neglected. And setting the energy, this crescent moon's second chakra energy is telling you that the reason that your soul is actively aligning with this Dagda and Adi Shakti energy is because you don't want to feel victimized. Intellectually, you know that you are feeling that way, and you want to release this, and you might even be feeling really guilty about this, about feeling like you're victim, because at Scorpio moon, you know that you're not. That's one of the things that you have little patience with other people is feeling victimized, because you know that there's a power internally that can shift things in a moment. And so you don't want to feel that victimization. And so how you want to work with these energies is by establishing boundaries. Many of you have already cut a lot of people off. You've cut a lot of situations off. And you're really starting to feel like maybe you need to cut off more. But what is really important to remember about boundaries is it's simply just being aware that internal emotional space, Scorpio, that you already have a deal of awareness about, that what is okay and what is not okay is really veritable. And it's important, once again, to just stay in real time with that, because that moment by moment awareness is what gives you the clarity that you're needing to eliminate this self-doubt. Okay, and so just by moment by moment by moment, if you're not able to move the television out of the room next to the bedroom, if you're not able to change your diet to, more positively influence, the diet of your child who's having a lot of issues because it's too much sugar or it's not enough nutrition or whatever like that, instead of that self-blame and condemnation, we don't want to experience that. And that's hard not to experience when we're seeing it happen with our child and we're like, oh Lord, I need to do this, I need to do that. The moment by moment experience, what's okay, what's not okay. So in this moment, what's not okay? Well, that we have, okay, it's okay, we're eating chips, but we're not going to eat the whole bag right now. Okay, we're going to stop. You're still hungry? Let's cut up some apples. Let's make a effort to balance this stuff out. That's what this is saying with Durga, the boundaries. Okay, so those are boundaries as well. Those moment by moment boundaries, that moment by moment clarity that you're getting through these Adi Shakti downloads. Adi Shakti energy from the traditional deck is that twister dream that Dorothy has when she returns home to the farm after she has tried to establish a boundary by leaving the farm, after they are trying to take total, which symbolizes her intuition. So you were working on your intuition, double yin energy, and you were wanting to align with it, but for the self-doubt, this is great difficulty with you doing it. But it's really important that you don't overlook the fact that you know where you stand with regard to how you're using your energy. How are you using it? Are you using it to sell yourself out and just say, okay, whatever. This is what the holding pattern is going to be. It's just going to be whatever until things change. That's giving away our power. Or are you going to say, okay, I know that these are things that I need to address because this is how I feel. These are my boundaries. This is how your soul wants to deal with it. And I'm going to awaken to what needs to really occur, what really needs to happen in order for me to feel the divine doula, child, the great mother, father, God that I am. And by doing this during this eclipse season, Scorpio moon sign people, you will, by the end, address these issues of alienation, address these issues of rejection, of feeling victimized. This is the new moon root chakra card. You're going to be able to realize by the new moon, which is when the eclipse is, this is a new moon card, that it's just a mystery as to why these situations are coming to you and what's actually happening, but you're beginning to at least recognize, if you don't realize fully by now, some of you that I'm working with, you are fully activating a great deal of awareness around these issues, that I may feel like this from time to time. And that's okay, because I'm grieving my past life. That's the only life that I've known. I've always felt out of place. I've always felt unwanted. I've always felt unappreciated. But I'm in the conscious process of releasing that. And I'm in a conscious process of realizing that Great Mother loves me, and I have loving eyes of my own for me. I have an appreciation of my own for me. And while I may vacillate back and forth with this eclipse season being in Gemini Cancer, I can intellectually see from a Gemini perspective what's happening, and from a soul perspective, that Cancer energy release the emotions around this feeling of being an orphan. In other words, align with the energies that are active right now within me and the cosmos to heal. Almost forgot the clarification card. Sekhmet. Rage. Boy, a lot of smoldering rage. So, okay. Waning gibbous moon is the revising, the editing moon. Smoldering rage is a very powerful energy. And so it's repressed anger. It's rare that this card shows up and people say, I'm not upset. And we get into the coaching session and there is rage, which is suppressed anger, which causes depression. And so we oftentimes confuse the two without these deeper incremental understandings of what our emotions, our memory, our imagination, all these clunky words that we have for how we feel. Scorpio moon, there's a lot of anger about going through what you're going through right now. And let's get some clarification from the angels real quick. This reading is going on a little bit longer than I'd like. I love doing them, but they just really take as much time as they take, to do. Okay, so we'll go with this that fell out. Page of Ariel. Reliable, clever, educated, balanced. You can handle this. This is Cups, the Page of Cups. An excellent opportunity will be offered to you. Scholarships or the pursuit of education. Time to get to work. So this basically means that this frustration about not knowing what to do, self-doubt about trusting your intuition at this time, trusting that love, that unconditional love within yourself at this time, there are going to be opportunities for you to experience it. And there are going to be opportunities for some of you to actually change those jobs or change those situations, because there will be resources given to you that you need in order to do it. Okay, so feeling unloved right now, causing this sense of suppressed anger about it, because you don't want to feel angry, Scorpio moon. You don't want to go there, because you do have a higher sense of divine principles. You really do. And so it makes you angry when you feel that way, such as now. But it's your full moon. This is in your first house. And so this is your full moon. And so yes, it's coming to this culmination right before the eclipse. And so let it explode, so that you can, as your reading said, open your heart chakra to receive the love that's waiting for you. Remember that we are having our weekly MDT support group meetings, and those meetings are free. They're phone calls on Monday nights. The Sunday nights are full, but come on, sign up for it on the website. We'd love to have you and love to have your insights with regard to how you are working with these energies and how we can support you to work with them. Our groups are never more than 5 people on a call, so that we keep it tight, we keep it focused, and very personal and private. Above all and most of all, remember, Great Mother loves you, and I do too.
I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb, Deep Space, the Moon, Dark Matter, the Void, the Black Hole, Atar, Isis, Diana, Mami Ishtar, Kali, Mammy, and Mother Mary.
Great Mother speaks to us in raw.